Well, thank y'all for coming to Goliad State Park. I'm Ranger Rex, and here we're talking about the birthplace of Texas ranching. And you think about our western days, you know what time frame that was in the Old West? It was really around 1875 to 1890, a short period of time. But when you think about all that heritage of Texas and Texas ranching, we really got the Spaniards to thank for it. Because in the first place, there was no cattle or horses. They were introduced by the Spaniards. Actually, in 1540, the Coronado expedition came through Texas, and they had a large herd just to support that expedition, and some escaped during that time. And then much later, in 1690, De Leon's expedition was reported. One report says he dropped off 30 head of cattle and 1 bull at every river he crossed. So that was the seed stock of which eventually becomes the Texas Longhorn as we know of today. So hook 'em horns if you're a fan of that. And so Goliad claims the birthplace of Texas ranching because of where you're sitting. Y'all know where you're sitting at? What's the name of this place? So it's not very hard. I give very easy questions during the program. So very easy. Mission Espiritu Santo. That's the name of this mission where you're at. And why the Goliad gets claimed birthplace of Texas ranching is really because we were the first mega ranch of Texas. So there's almost 1.5 million acres of ranch land. It was huge. It actually started near the coast. And here's the San Antonio River, all the way past Karnes City near Floresville. And then if you follow the Guadalupe River, up past Gonzales to Belmont, then this was the imaginary north boundary line. That was a lot of land. So I don't know where y'all are from. You might have actually been part of the ranch of Mission Espiritu Santo. And so as this large ranch, they had over 40,000 head of cattle, and over 15,000 head were branded. Y'all know what a branding iron is? Yeah. So we really do not know the exact brand that was used out here, which seems a little odd. There was a ranger that retired here, and she actually read somewhere that it was this. And can you tell what it is? So you remember? No, it's a good guess, a cactus, but no. Remember, this might help. A lot of times, of course, you're looking at it reverse. Because you'd put it in the fire, get it hot. Yes. There you go. And you would brand it, and so that would be the side of the cow. What do you think ES is for? Remember, I don't do hard questions. Oh, and since it's a mission, a cross. Not a cactus, though, but good guess. I hear the cactus answer all the time on that. So one of the early parts of, our ranching, and you think about ranching, you had the roundup days. They had that here, and it was actually recorded. One of the early rodeos actually took place here at this mission. You know, part of it, you just get a bunch of guys together and they start bragging who's the better roper. Next thing you know, you have a contest. And of course, these cowboys were actually known as, the Spanish name was what? Anybody want to guess? Very good. Yeah, the vaqueros. See, I told you I don't give any hard questions at all, because I know it's Saturday and it's y'all's break. So, yeah, the vaqueros, which is known as herdsmen. And so a lot of these vaqueros were Native Americans here. So think about it. The early cowboys are not who I grew up thinking, because I'm a little bit older than y'all. I grew up with a lot of black and white TV. And so I thought John Wayne was the first cowboy. Yeah, and so, but that's my image. The vaqueros and these ranchers are Spaniards and Native Americans. Okay, and so one of the early cattle drives takes place. As a matter of fact, major cattle drives took place from 1779 to 1782, basically 3 years during the American Revolution. On that, think about it, about 9,000 head of cattle were driven from Texas all the way to Louisiana and then on, because they were needing to feed some of the Spanish troops there, because they had played a part in the American Revolution. And one specifically cattle drive took place from this mission. around 1,200 head of cattle were ordered to be delivered. So this is one of the first major cattle drives, you know, in this taking place. So this is 100 years before all that Chisholm Trails and the great cattle drives we think of. And so it's kind of ironic, you think about who's actually doing the cattle drives. Instead of the John Wayne type cowboy, it's the Native Americans and Spaniards. And one of the skills the vaqueros had was the roping. They were known for their long, 40-foot long lariats, even longer ropes. Their skill became really good because really in Spain they herded the cattle more with sticks and the horses. They didn't do so much roping, but out here there was a lot of land. The cattle became very kind of wild, very fast. They weren't used to contact, some of them, because you think about all this land out here.
They weren't used to seeing man a lot.
Yeah, and so they were skittish, and so it had to be roping a lot to get them in. And so the roping skill became outstanding on that, and that's what they're really known for, is that. And of course, also part of the vaqueros tradition, they had the big spurs on the horses, and also the rings in the horse's mouth to steer them, where you just barely could turn them on side to side, or you could do damage, but they were great horsemen on that. And so that was some of the techniques they used. And so when you think about the birthplace of Texas ranching, you know, think about Goliad, Texas, and that's how we get to claim that big, that's a big boast, brag with all the ranching. And that is why, because this was the first mega ranch of Texas and where a lot of our heritage started from. So now that y'all have any questions, I know y'all want to just get to roping. So, and that's what you get to do now. You get to see if you can become a vaquero. So, yeah, if you can rope the little dummies, you could be the vaquero. If not, we do have farming out here. You become a farmer. Y'all ready to rope?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go. Have you done it before?
Never.
Oh, okay. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
Good. Because the ropes have a twist to them, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when you're doing this, you're putting a twist in it.
Making it tighter?
Well, it gets it where it gets kinky. Kinked up. If you think about it, if you are roping a cow all the time or a steer, it's going to stretch and pop it all the time. Mm-hmm. And that helps a rope, actually. And I haven't even done it, but so you'd actually want to stretch it. But when you do it, you'll hold it about right here. Make a loop about so big at first since you haven't done it. And when you go overhead, you almost flip your wrist just like it's going to be a baseball throw almost every time. And the other trick is not to hold this tight. It's easy to grab this, but you want it to spool off, you know, like a fishing reel, like that. And so you'll just do a few like that and just let it go.
Got him.
And it will drift just because of the spinning. And try not to stop your motion, just let it go and fly.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, all right. Oh, perfect. Yeah. You got it. Good job. Okay. They're trying to get close to
That's a good, there you go, that's good. Almost.